It's the dictionary. 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 It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to another episode of the dictionary. This is a fun one for so many reasons. First of all, it's fun because I have the wonderful UHJeff Nucera here. Jeff, how are you doing?
Oh, hi, Spencer. Thanks for having me.
Didn't see you there.
How are you?
I'm good. How have things been going with you since
Things
the
have
last
been
time you were on
going-
the show?
Things have been progressing, and I'm excited to give you an update, maybe.
Yeah, well, so let's remind everybody, you were on, I think it was the documentary episode way back in the D's.
Yes.
And
Yes. You gave me a D. Thank you.
I gave you a D. You're now back for the F's. And we were talking about your documentary Show Gals. So
Yes.
how has, at the time of recording, I don't think you had actually gotten your funding. It was like, we were like
Oh my
days
gosh.
away. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well,
what's happened since?
We have gotten funded. We have blown through all that money, basically.
Fantastic.
No, we did. We ran that Kickstarter was successful. Thank you for all of your help. And we have been editing the film for quite a while now. We are deep enough in the process that we've actually started submitting to some festivals.
Yeah.
And so when you hit the festival page in the dictionary, maybe I'll have an update for that. Who knows?
Festival, yeah. It's coming up kind of quick, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
So you where, like, what stage would you say that you're at? Like rough
I would
cut,
say
fine
we're around a fine cut. We're like fine cut adjacent.
cut? Yeah.
Finest cut in the land, Spencer. It's we're figuring out what music clearance looks like at this point. We are having some graphics created and doing some other music stuff. And so that's kind of where we are. The story is working. The story feels right, and hopefully we can keep it as close to our dream as we can, depending on the music clearance that's
Yeah.
coming at us. Basically, the parodies that Al does, he does not own them. So we have to figure out from the original artist and publishers and writers and all those people what their rules are, if we can use these things or not.
Yeah,
So
that's
where we are.
I think I remember you saying that was probably going to be the most complicated and most expensive part of this process.
Yep. And we are in the midst of the complicated, expensive, scary part now.
But you're doing it, so that's awesome.
We are doing it.
Yeah.
Summer Woods is helping us.
Oh, yes. Let's
yes.
definitely give her a shout out. How is she helping you?
She is helping us do she's doing some scoring for the film. And we've got some exciting stuff up our sleeve for that. And yeah, it's all very exciting. It's all happening.
Will there be some amazing deleted scenes when this is finally released on Blu-ray and stuff?
That is the intention. Yes, we have a lot of scenes that just sort of had to go away, so that we could streamline the film, and they will be available to you should you want them.
I sure do want them.
Great.
And I hear, is it Chloe in the background?
Chloe is in the background. I'm surprised it took her this long to say hello.
She'll pop up, I'm sure, periodically.
Yes.
So I also want to mention that you had a couple of wonderful episodes on Dave and Ethan's 2000-inch Weird Al podcast recently. You are probably their most... You and John Bermuda Schwartz have probably popped up the most on that show. But the two recent ones were the episodes where you were talking about your cameos. I think cameos is the right word. Your cameos in yeah, of course it is. In the Weird Al movie called Weird: The Al Yankovic Story. It was so fun to hear the behind the scenes of filmmaking and your personal experiences recorded 2.5 years ago. So can you just quickly say a little bit about what that was and maybe what it was like with those episodes airing so many months later?
It was very fun to hear my experience from 2.5 years ago. We recorded them pretty much right after I was on set for a couple of days doing some background extra work, and then to hear that happen, or hear me talking about it 2.5 years later, I had forgotten many of those details, and so
that's why you record stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So the thing I got the biggest kick out of was hearing my reaction to what at the time I was not sure was the end of the film.
Yes.
And I was like, I think it's a dream sequence or it's the end of the movie, and I'm not sure which, and I'm not going to say what I saw.
You handled that very well.
And I'm very glad I didn't, because that would have ruined everything, maybe.
Yeah. Listening to your episodes really made me want to go back and rewatch the movie again for probably the third time or something, because it was like, oh yeah, I want to now go back and look. So, obviously, if people haven't seen it, don't give any spoilers away. But what can you say? What scenes you were in?
You can see me behind after Al gets arrested, and Madonna is bringing him out of the precinct. You can see me kind of in the background, grinning like an idiot. There are photographers. There's a lot of press around him, and I didn't have a camera, so they were like, it's press and fans.
Perfect.
So I didn't have a camera, so I was a fan, and I was excited to see him. I was very deep in character, Spencer, but it looks like I'm just a grinning fool.
It's so different from your normal life.
Yes, exactly. It's very exciting, though.
And then was there a concert scene as well?
Yeah, there were a couple of performances. I saw him perform "Eat It," but you can't see me in the crowd, but I am in the crowd. And I was at the awards show ceremony that does come at the end of the film.
Yeah.
But I am blocked by someone's giant 80s hair,
Yeah.
which is okay.
If you're going to be blocked by something, it might as well be some fantastic 80s hair.
Indeed.
Obviously, if people have not watched that film, you absolutely have to go watch that free on Roku. And of course, it's on DVD and Blu-ray and all that stuff now.
What are you doing here? Go watch it now. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
stop
Spencer.
this and go watch it and come back.
And while you're at Roku, go check out the Charlie Puth Show.
Oh,
starring Weird Al Yankovic in episode 3 for those of you who are excited about that kind of thing.
And do you pop up at some point, possibly?
What? There may be. I have a secret career as just popping up as an extra in all Roku projects now.
At least all Weird Al
Or at least
things.
those two. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of posts about this Charlie Puth show, and so I'm very curious. It sort of exploded in the last week, so I might have to go check that out.
Please check it out. It's exciting. We were the #1 show on Roku last weekend. We premiered on Friday. Have a look, won't you, Spencer Parks?
Yes, I shall. That is pretty impressive, actually. Okay, well, so this episode...
Enough about me.
We will get more... We will talk more about you, I'm sure.
How dare you?
Throughout this episode. It's all about what you want to bring to the table. That's really what it comes down to.
I've got some stuff for the table.
Yeah. This episode, we have to give a little bit of a what should we call it? I'm blanking on the term. A
parental advisory, some
sure,
sort of content warning.
Yes. A little content. Be aware that there may be some words said in this episode that people do not like, that people are very uncomfortable with. I have to say
that's why I'm here.
Because you make everybody feel more comfortable.
Sure.
There was somebody who did request to be on this episode, and unfortunately, due to some health issues, they were not able to be on this episode. So I apologize, Mari Morton. We'll get you back on another time. But this was time sensitive because this episode airs in 2 days, a day and a half at this point. So we got to get it out. So Jeff stepped in and said, "Yes, of course, I will talk about these words with you." And we'll get to them. But before we get to those tricky words, very tricky words, We have to talk about the first word, which is something that probably shows up in your documentary. It's the word fade out. 2 words
Yes.
with a hyphen. This is a noun from 1917, and it is an act or instance of fading out, but especially a gradual decrease in a motion picture or television image's visibility at the end of a sequence. Can you add a little bit more? What's a fade out to you?
A fade out is, sometimes it's called a dip to black. Sometimes it's called a dip to white. A white flash can also be a fade out in a sense. But basically, you're seeing an image and it slowly goes away gradually. It doesn't just blink off, and it's just a subtle, not very subtle because it does go to black, or a solid color, and then and then it can come in. There's also a fade in. Careful with those.
Whoa.
Yes. But at the end of a film or a documentary, for example, you get a fade out.
Yeah. Would you say a dissolve would be similar to a fade out? Or
I would.
Yeah.
Dissolve doesn't usually go to a color. It'll go to another scene.
Yeah.
So like if someone's looking at you and then your editor dissolves to me, you'll just see me and you overlapping for a moment before coming to me. Hi.
One could argue that the first visual is fading out as the other visual is fading in, but typically,
True.
Yes, a fade out is going to black or white or some other color.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually black.
I use these things all the time because I am constantly making videos of various kinds. So I love my fade outs.
Yes. There's also the audio fade out where people just...
Where did he go? Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's definitely about audio. Does it even say that? A gradual decrease in the motion picture or television images? No, it doesn't say anything about audio. So, yes, thank you for calling that out.
Yeah, dictionary, figure your stuff out.
Yeah, maybe in the next version they'll get it right. It is now sound effect time. What sound effect would you like to make for this episode?
Oh no, I forgot about the sound effects. Oh no. What about this?
Oh.
Hold on. It's coming.
Ooh, that's a good one. Nice and sharp and short. So keep that handy because you're going to have to do that a lot.
Yes.
The next word is FADM, all caps. It's an abbreviation for Fleet Admiral.
Hello, sir. Oh.
Yeah. I shall
salute.
Salute the Fleet Admiral. I assume they must be saluted. It's a good one. Okay, next we have, I think it is Fathu. Fathu? Fathu or just Fathu, but it is spelled F-A-D-O. So it looks like it's pronounced fado or fado, but it's Fathu. Fathu. It is a noun from 1890, a plaintive Portuguese folk song. Oh, this is very cool. This
is very cool.
This is, of course...
I have seen a Fathu show live.
You have?
I have. In Portugal, no less.
Whoa.
Yes.
I would love to
I was
go
in
visit
Portugal, and we went to a Fathu... We called it fado, but Fathu... restaurant basically where they had live performers who just blew our minds. It's a very it says plaintive Portuguese folk song, but it is very fraught with emotion and it is from the soul, and it's specifically designed to like make the listener weep, I think. And there is sort of this logo in Portugal, sort of that you can see everywhere, where people are singing and just tears are coming out of their eyes, just wailing, and it is wonderful. One of the performers we saw was a contestant on what is basically their version of America's Got Talent, but it's like the next top fado singer.
Wow.
And he just, he was like a teen, maybe 16 at the time, and just killed it on the show. And then he was performing at this restaurant.
So he was on the show first, and then you saw him at the restaurant. And so,
Correct.
Did you find that out while you were there? Did they say like?
Yeah, we talked to him. He was kind of selling CDs and doing the rounds, and we spoke to him. He's a very, very sweet kid who just was very passionate about his singing. He had a great voice, and yeah, he came in. I don't think he won the competition, but he came in pretty close, from what I recall.
I mean, just to be on the show in the first place is really impressive.
Yeah, we looked him up and everything. It was pretty fun.
Wow. You have more to say in this episode than expected. That's what I love about these. Anytime I have a guest on, there's always at least one word that's like, oh, you have a connection to that as well as the thing that we plan to talk about. So that's fantastic. I would love to go visit Portugal. I've never been. So now I know about this word, this song, and when I go visit someday, I will have to go listen to some fado.
You should. It's wonderful.
And then if maybe I am, even though I need to get this out soon, if I have a moment, I will try to put in a clip of a fado song. So somebody can hear, or at the very least, I'll just put in a link in the show notes so you can go find one.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that kid's performance.
That would be awesome. This word is, of course, Portuguese, and it literally means fate, F-A-T-E. So, just sort of think about that, about how you think that connects to a plaintive folk song and fate.
Or the fate of me doing this word on your show.
That's right. What's the destiny that has occurred or something. I don't know. Okay, sound effect time. The next couple of words are spelled F-A-E-C-A-L and also F-A-E-C-E-S, which are pronounced fecal and feces, and they are the chiefly British variation of those American spelled words. They just like to throw in the A for some reason. And because there's no definitions here or anything, we don't have to talk about feces right now.
How dare you? I have a connection to feces as well.
Do you really?
Nope.
We all have a connection to feces, whether we like it or not.
It's coming out of my face right now.
Yeah, feces. That's what it looks like. Okay, the next word is faena. Yeah, faena. F-A-E-N-A. This is a noun from 1927. It is a series of final passes leading to the kill made by the matador in a bullfight. And I just, of course, have to say, I am a friend of the animals, and so I do not like the idea of bullfighting. I was not aware of this specific term. So basically, in bullfighting, they do the red fabric thing, but then they also throw spears or arrows into the side of it, and eventually it dies, I think. And so these are the final arrows or something going into the bull, the faena, and kills the bull. The matador kills the bull with these faena. Do you have any?
Are we still doing that? I mean,
yeah, I think so.
So grim,
right?
It's so grim.
I know.
I remember being in Spain. Let's just talk about all of my European adventures.
Please.
While we're here. I just remember being in Spain, and we went to see an arena where that stuff had been happening. I thought it had been closed since its heyday, but I don't know if some of them are still in operation.
I suspect that there's a lot less of them, that they are closing down because there are people who are less people interested in bullfighting now than there used to be. Kind of like churches. A lot less people are going to church, and so churches are closing, I think.
Yes.
There's maybe a better example, but yeah, I think it still happens in Spain. So I know it's, generations old and it's a cultural thing, but I personally cannot support it. Do you support bullfighting or not?
I do not. I support bullfighters. They seem handsome sometimes.
Sure. But not the.
Well, growing up, I had my parents had a velvet painting of a bullfighter whose ass was just sort of bubbling out, which is probably part of the reason I'm on this episode.
The bullfighter had an ass that would not quit.
Absolutely.
Oh man, now I kind of want to see a picture of this. That sounds pretty funny.
I can provide that as well.
I'm sure you can. So this faena, this is a Spanish word, and it literally means task. So it's like the task, the action of putting the arrows in the bull, I guess. It is from the obsolete Catalonian word, which I guess is the same, from Latin facienda, which means things to be done, from facere, which means to do, and there's more at the word do, so yeah. I don't want to talk about killing bulls anymore. Instead,
Fair.
I want to hear a wonderful sound effect from your water bottle. Lovely. The next word. This is it's what we're just gonna say it. This is the word fairy, but it is not spelled the way that you probably think. Again, I think with the British they like to put in those extra letters. So we have Faerie or Faery. This is a noun from 1579. Now it does not say that these are the British spellings, but it does say, number one, the synonym is fairyland, spelled the more typical way, and then number two, the synonym is the number one definition for the word fairy, and then of course fairy with a Y is an adjective. And because we have you on this episode, do you have any thoughts about this word?
Yes.
Do you want me to ask another question, or do you want to just go for it?
Well, let's just go for it. So this word, fairy, the more traditional spelling that we've come to know, can be used. It's sort of outdated now, but it can be used as a derogatory term for people in the LGBTQ plus community, such as myself.
Would you say it's typically for a gay man, or
I would typically say that? Yes.
Yeah, because that's usually where I hear it, but I'm sure it has probably been used for other people in that world as well.
Yeah, but generally effeminate men who are coming across as less than masculine,
right?
I would say. So it's an insult meant to sort of place you into the gay culture, like even if you're not a homosexual, or before you admit that you're a homosexual.
Yeah,
in my case,
and of course, adding on to that, this is a derogatory word that people would use to somebody who, a bully, say, to put this in real blunt terms, a bully might use this to somebody who might not be on the LGBTQ spectrum or that world, just to be mean.
Yes. Stop being a fairy, some might say, as an example.
Yeah, that seems like a very
which was an example certainly directed at me many times in elementary school and in high school. Along with one of the words that's coming up. Yeah.
So obviously I don't want to be intrusive, but was this from other students, teachers, other adults?
Luckily, never a teacher.
Good. Good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, really.
I did go to Catholic school, but the teachers were not participating in this. But they weren't really stopping the students from
Sure.
hassling me and some of the other kids with terms like this. It was, look, I grew up in the 80s. We weren't doing a whole lot against bullying at the time. And, now we know better, I think. Sort of.
Overall,
Yeah. I think strides have been made.
yes.
Maybe not in the online community, but offline, at least.
Yeah.
They try to limit the bullying in this aspect.
Yeah, it's definitely been shifting towards the online world. Do you think there are people who use this term self-identify with this word? They like to call themselves this word, sort of taking it and owning it and flipping the script on it.
I'm sure there are people who refer to themselves as fairies. I don't personally know any of them, but I'm certain that yes, that is a vibe that some people will embrace, and more power to them. I'm into it. If that's a thing that you're into, go for it. There's also guys who and ladies who will dress as like cartoony fairies.
Literally.
And just identify as that, in one way or another, and that's also wonderful.
Yeah,
and a way to empower yourself, maybe.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when you take it to that level of, like a literal fairy with wings and ears and everything like that, then it's turning it into something else, and like fairies are cool, and. So yeah, it's really changing the whole vibe of it for sure. So I'm glad to see that more of that positive use of it. But yes, it's still the negative usage is still there.
It's very scarring for some of us.
Yeah, and I have to say to you and obviously to anybody else listening that, like I said at the beginning, this is there's a lot of tough verbiage here in this episode, so I know that I'm putting you in a position to talk about these scarring, maybe childhood or adulthood memories, but this is why I feel like things need to be talked about. So yeah, we won't go any further than you want to.
And I appreciate that. Thank you for not bullying me, Spencer. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I feel like bully is like the last thing that somebody would describe me as. I was always the one getting bullied.
I don't know. You seem awfully aggro.
Yeah.
Hate crime. Oh, sorry.
Let's see. There was some etymology, I think. No, I mean it's just from the word fairy. Any other thoughts that you have on fairy, or should we move on?
I would like to go to fairyland. Wherever that is.
Who doesn't, right? I would love to live in a fantasy fairyland for sure. I think it's much nicer there.
Seems fun.
Yeah. Sound effect. The next word is Faroese, or just Faroese. Capital Faeroese. Yes, Chloe, I know. Don't worry. We're going to get to you soon.
Come here, Chloe.
She is so funny. My cat, who sadly I had to put to sleep not too long ago.
I'm very sorry.
Thank you. She was 16 and she was quite noisy, but really mostly just when she wanted attention or something. So is Chloe that kind of cat, or does she just yammer on a lot? Anyway,
she has conversations in her. Like she will talk to humans. Like if someone's delivering a package, she'll just run up to the door and start meowing at them. If I am not paying attention to her, for example, now, I get yelled at. It's also, food related a lot.
Oh yes.
So I think she's just bored.
Yeah. Our other cat, she is very silent. It's like, it's weird to hear her make a sound. It's rare.
That's like an emergency.
Yeah, right. Give me food or something weird. So Faroese, you can also spell it without that first E. This is a noun from 1854. Number 1, a member of the people inhabiting the Faroese. which is Faeroes. And number 2, the North Germanic language of the Faroese people, and Faroese is an adjective. I have heard of these, this group of people, but I really don't know anything. Do you know anything about the Faroese people or their language?
I don't, and I should have looked it up, but
Nah. See, I don't do any research.
You know anything about
so
the Faroese? No, she's a snack now.
No, of course. I will put a link in the show notes for Faroese, so you can also learn about these North Germanic people. I guess, are they still around? Or is that more of an ancient group? I don't know. I feel terrible for not knowing, but
It can't be too ancient. The word's from 1854.
Yeah, that's
that long ago.
That's what I'm thinking. That's not even 200 years ago. So they must still be around.
Hello to all the Faroese listeners of the Dictionary Pod.
Yeah, when I go to check my stats, the analytics, it says that I get 1% from the Faroese group, and 99% from the U.S.
Their time has come.
Yes. But honestly, if anybody is from the Faroese group of people, or you know a lot, feel free to email, call the Google Voice, whatever you want. Let me know, and we'll have a little chat. Sound effect time. Took 2 tries on that one. It looked like.
Yes. Sometimes we miss.
Yes, when we're not looking. The next word is Fáfnir, or Fáfnir, or Fáfnir. Fafnir. The first F is capitalized. This is a noun from 1850. I laugh every time I hear Chloe. Just more treats, please. So Fáfnir is a dragon in Norse mythology that guards the Nibelung's gold hoard until slain by Sigurd. Oh, these are some fantastic words. Are you? I feel like this is in the world of what is this Norse mythology? So maybe this isn't. What was that? Oh my God! What was that movie in the old story with the
Puff the Magic Dragon?
That's the one. No, that's not it. I don't know. Do you know anything about Norse mythology or Fáfnir?
I don't, and I'm learning about it today, which is
Me
exciting.
too.
I love a dragon. I feel like Chloe might have something and be a descendant, perhaps.
Oh, possibly.
Not sure.
Yeah. Seems.
Her breath is fire-like sometimes.
Ooh, both in heat and smell, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, of course, I will put a link in the show notes for Fáfnir or Fáfnir. But yes, I always love learning about new dragons. Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of. Yeah.
Is that who? I shouldn't have started it if I couldn't finish it. What was that? What was that? It wasn't King's Quest, but it was that video game. It was all the rage in the 80s.
Oh, Dragon's Lair?
Lair, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Is
With
that
the
who he fought?
2D animation one?
Yes.
Oh, I was so bad at that game.
Well, it was not designed to win, I feel like.
No. I tried so many times, and I would literally die on, like, whatever, the second or third little scene. It was so hard.
They would flash lights at you, and you had to, like, hurry to get over there.
But it looked
worked.
really cool.
Oh, God, it was amazing.
Yeah. Okay, sound effect time. Now we are getting into the very troublesome section of this episode.
Wait, is that why I'm here? Wait a minute.
Because you are so troublesome. This is the first form of the word fag, F-A-G. And that, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say those sounds multiple times throughout the rest of this episode.
There are many instances here.
Yes, there really are. This is a verb from 1772. We are starting with intransitive, which is to work hard, and the synonym is toil. Toiling away, working in your garden, I guess you would be fagging. Okay.
Yes.
let's quickly go on
I've
to.
been fagging. Oh, what?
Have you been fagging on show gals? Toiling away.
This is where, look, the inner 12-year-old who has been damaged by this word also finds it very amusing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you have to laugh, right? When you come across things like this with a word that has this history, you have to talk about it and be serious and also laugh at it.
Yes. So yeah, I have been fagging on showgals. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Transitive verb for this word is to tire by strenuous activity, and the synonym is exhaust. So you would be exhausted and fagged after all of the fagging. I'm trying to what's that where you do it so many times that you get desensitized.
It loses all meaning. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ironic for the dictionary podcast.
Yeah. There is an example, by the way. Fagged by the strenuous climb. Yes. Okay. I feel like this should have said obsolete or archaic because I have never heard anybody use this word in this way.
Correct.
A synonym is the word tire, Tire.
Yes.
There is a little bit of etymology, perhaps from the obsolete word fag, which means to droop. So when you are tired, you are drooping. Or as I get older, my skin and parts will droop. And then also from the same word fag, which means fag end, which, we're going to come up to that in a little bit.
We are.
So let's see. I'm trying to think about where do we talk about this? Hold on. I'm looking ahead.
It's coming up.
It's coming up. Oh, it's the sixth form. The really bad one is the sixth form. So I guess let's hold off any conversation until then because that seems right?
Yeah, I'm into it.
Okay. Sound effect,
Prolong
please.
it.
Yeah, right. Let's just drag this out. The second
You're gonna
form.
be so fagged by the end of this.
Oh, I'm already so fagged. The second form of fag is a noun from 1780. Number 1 is chiefly British, and the synonyms are toil and drudgery. That definitely seems connected to working hard and being exhausted.
Yes.
Number 2, the synonym is the number 1 definition for the word drudge. So the work, I guess maybe the work that you are doing is the fag, and you are fagging the fag. I didn't mean for it to come out that way.
I sure am.
Oh, we have fun on the dictionary. Let's do a sound effect.
Oh, yes.
The third form of fag is a noun from 1785. This is an English public school boy. Let's just sit with that one for a second.
Yep.
Who acts as servant to an older schoolmate. And I'm sure that I think we can see kind of what's the evolution of this word, where this came from.
Yeah, we're getting into the probable original meanings of these words, and you can kind of see a direct line.
Yes, for sure.
Through this, it was probably not a sexual thing, I would hope, since they're schoolmates. But I think that sort of being, I'm a little, I'm a little curious as to like what sort of services a public school boy was giving to his older classmate.
Yeah. So that was, well, let's get into the next one because maybe it'll give us a little bit more. It looks similar.
Yes.
Let's do a sound effect real quick.
Oh, sorry.
The fourth form of fag. This is an intransitive verb from 1806, and this is to serve as a fag, especially in an English public school. And the example is fagging for older boys during his first year. So I jumped into that because it was on track of kind of what you were saying. Is
Yes.
were they what sort of servanty things were they doing in this school system?
Yeah, are they carrying the kids' books for
Right.
him? Unclear.
Yeah.
But it is a clear sort of. There's a couple things going on. Is there like a bullying sort of vibe happening, or is it like a more like an older brother kind of thing that maybe the younger one is getting teased or bullied from,
Right.
whatever, in a more genteel kind of way.
Was it assigned by
unclear.
the school to like an older brother, younger brother kind of thing? Like, hey, show this kid the ropes, but while you are showing him the ropes of the school, he has to do things for you. It's not hazing per se, but you gotta go through the ropes to
Yeah,
become an
here's
older
your
kid.
guide, and,
Yeah.
and you have to sort of do what he. It doesn't sound like a frat hazing or anything.
Right.
It's that's not even like implied here. So it seems like just a regular sort of school relationship that was happening in the 1800s.
Yeah, 17 and 1800s. Obviously, we are just guessing because we don't know.
Speculating.
Yeah, but I was not aware of this one. I was aware of the next one because people still use this. Sound effect, please. We have the fifth form of fag. Yes, Chloe. Yes, thank you. This is a noun from circa 1888, and so real quick, let's just say that the English schoolboy one came first, and this one came a lot later. The synonym is cigarette. And it doesn't say British, but I do believe it's almost always British people who will say that, calling a cigarette a fag.
Perhaps all I've heard, but yes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to look ahead because I feel like there's more. Well, oh, yes, I see it down further. Well, okay. The etymology of that one also says fag end, which we'll get to in a moment. But first, we must get to the next one. Sound effect, please. We have the sixth and final form of the word fag, which is a noun from 1921, a little over 100 years ago. Oh, and look, it says usually disparaging. Yes, thank you for that footnote. The synonym is just faggot. So I guess we can't technically talk about it until a little bit later. But it does say that another form, an adjective form, is faggy, which just really, I have nothing to say about that.
I mean, I have some things we can say.
Yeah, well,
it is. I mean, yeah, it is. We're beginning to enter the disparaging era of this word. This word has been around for, at this point, first used here in 1921. This word has been around, though, since the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has evolved now, 100 years ago, into this sort of disparaging and hateful use, where it is, clearly... if I was a betting man, I would think that being called a faggot, in terms of like being a young school kid who's got to help out these older kids, they're getting called faggots, and it's a term of derision, maybe abuse at some point, and then it becomes a synonym for homosexuals. It becomes, someone who's not masculine, not manly, which, again, if you're a young kid versus older kids, like that's what's going to happen. Like,
sure,
you're not as mature as they are, so you're faggy.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say that, that is, to me, a very clear lineage of where we are today, which is that word is not, it has almost no other meaning at this point. It is a hateful term used by people to diminish and belittle those in the LGBTQ community, gay men especially.
Yeah, similar to the word fairy, but this one has a lot more meaning behind it. I feel
a lot
like.
more power behind it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot more hateful because fairy conjures some like glittery images, I think, whereas faggot is a little harsher, and definitely I've heard it used with hate, many times.
Yeah.
Growing up, which not great.
No, not great. Made you stronger, I would like to
Made
think.
me who I am today. Yes, and
Yeah.
you know what? Like, I will identify as a faggot. It is. You asked earlier about fairy, people self-identifying as fairy, and I said that maybe that's the case for me. I will, if someone calls me a faggot today, I'm like, yeah, I am a faggot. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
I will
Turning
happily
that around.
take that on. Yeah, I will happily take that on because, I fought through it, and yeah, I'm a faggot, and I'm probably stronger than you are because I don't need to call people names to make me feel better.
Yeah, and you have dealt with so much crap from people like that over the years.
Yeah.
We sometimes watch older movies from any number of decades, and sometimes this word pops up, especially in like 80s movies, and it's like, oh my god, wow.
Always.
Like I wasn't prepared for that. I feel like even not that long ago it came across, and it was used obviously in a hateful way. And I feel like, I would like to think, at least here in America, that most people are, you don't hear it as much. Okay, you and I are in different worlds, different cultures. From what I can see, this word is not getting used as much as it was 30, 40 years ago.
Correct. It's not in pop culture, so it's not getting like fed to the masses.
Right.
It is. Listen, it was an acceptable word in the 80s.
Right.
It was used often, but as we know, language is fluid, and it does. People start to realize, okay, this is actually kind of hurtful, and maybe we shouldn't be throwing this around.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Exactly.
But at the time, it was not great.
Right.
It was sort of the worst thing. Listen, I grew up in I went to a Catholic school. I was, from sort of a suburb of Philly that was kind of small-minded. And, you can't begrudge them for it. They don't, people don't know any better. I used that term growing up because it was just around. People just, it's hard to blame a 10-year-old for the language he uses when we look back on it 40 years later.
Yeah.
It's hard. You can't. I can't like really begrudge that. Did it fucking hurt though? Like at the time when I was like deeply closeted, I'm in this school that says you shouldn't be gay, and it's fucking terrible, and you're going right to hell. Mm-hmm. And then you've got like the bullies around going, "You're a faggot," and it's like, this is hell. Like, this is hell. I'm already in hell. So like at some point, you sort of figure out, okay, I can either lean into this and figure out a way to make myself happy, or I can try to please everyone around me and not act on these urges, which doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work.
Nope.
And so like it's a very hard, complex word that I have a strange relationship with.
Sure.
Because on the one hand, it's powerful now, but on the other hand, it is filled with this, this garbage.
Yeah.
That came at me as a kid.
And I feel like it is a powerful word, but I feel like if and when it is used these days, it's even more powerful than when it was used 30, 40 years ago, because it was so much because it was used so much more back then.
Yes.
It was filled with hate and power, but because culture has evolved and changed and language has changed, it's even worse now.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Now it's instead of being used out of habit, it is purposeful.
Exactly.
It is an act of aggression.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you're taking it and owning it.
Right.
It is an act of aggression.
Yeah.
To be saying that to someone.
Because we know as a society how hateful, how hurtful it is. Yeah. So this is why we were talking about this, because
hello everyone.
because language, and we're
because
not gonna
language, yes.
Yeah. Well, we clearly have a few more words to get through.
We do. I'm ready to ding if you are.
Yeah, there's more to say.
Boy,
I guess
we really were faggoting a lot in there.
I'm so
okay?
I'm so fagged by all this talk. But we have to drudge through. We have to fag through. Oh boy. Okay, let's do a
Everything's fine, everyone. Everyone's okay now.
We're good. We're great.
Okay.
You're in a safe place. The next one is fag end. 2 words. Noun from 1600. Ooh, this is old. 1A is a poor or worn out end. The synonym is remnant. So
it would be inappropriate to joke about
a sad worn out end.
A rear ass.
After
after a grinder date, right? It's inappropriate. I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm merely asking.
Right. You are definitely not doing that. That's not what's happening here. And none of our brains.
I would never do that.
No. We were not thinking about that at all.
I'd like to apologize to all of the gays and the straights out there and everyone in between. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Just trying to lighten the mood.
I'm glad you said something. It was a lot better to come from you than from me. 1B for fag end. Oh, I was trying to think of, like, okay, based on what this book is saying, it is a worn out end. What would that be? Like the end of a shirt, maybe, if it's been worn for 40 years, maybe the end of it is all worn out, and that would be the fag end, I guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
Last part. Yeah, I could see that. Yes. Based on the future definitions you're about to get to, yes.
Okay, so let's get to those. Let's get into the future. 1B is the extreme end. So just the very last part of a thing.
Yes.
2A is the last part or coarser end of a web of cloth. A web of cloth. And 2B is the untwisted end of a rope. Yes, the end of a rope does definitely get frayed, and so that would be the fag end.
Yes. If it was still in use today, I would suggest like if the aglet comes off of your shoelace and it gets all worn out, it's the fag end of the shoelace.
Yes, and good use of a word that most people don't know or forget, like me. The aglet of a shoe. Ooh, I wonder if they're connected at all. Probably not, but maybe. I don't know. This is from Middle English fag, F-A-G-G-E, which means flap. Sure.
Yes, sure.
Okay, sound effect. Here is the word...
I'm getting worse at this.
You are getting worse, but that's the fun of it. Here is the word faggot, F-A-G-G-O-T.
Our old friend faggot.
Our old friend. It is a noun from 1914. Almost feels like it would have been earlier than that, but I don't know. It does say usually disparaging, and this is very specifically a male homosexual. And faggotry, that is a noun, usually disparaging. I don't know how that would get used in a sentence, but it sounds like you could use it in an interesting way.
Yes.
And faggoty, that is an adjective, usually disparaging.
I do have a friend who says, what is this faggotry? As he sees, someone being extra, perhaps.
Sure.
And he is also a gay homosexual, so it's all right.
So he's allowed
to say it. And it does make me laugh every time he says it.
Absolutely. It would make me...
What is this faggotry?
Yeah.
And it's usually not something I'm doing, let's be honest.
Oh, it's directed to you.
Yeah, maybe, yes.
Yeah.
But it is usually disparaging, to be fair.
From a friend.
Yes. It's with love.
Yes,
disparaging
exactly.
with love.
Yes. This is what I love to see, is taking these words and turning them into loving uses for humor. But I believe this person probably knows when to use it and when not to use it.
Correct.
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's not using it to viciously attack a stranger.
Exactly.
He's using it with love and humor, and that is our way sometimes.
Of course, I love that. That is a good way to use that word.
Yes.
This word is it says earlier and dialect contemptuous word. Here we go. Contemptuous word for a woman or child, which is fascinating to see how it evolved, what it evolved to. Interesting.
Yes. So again, it can be tied, I think, or linked to the school kids,
Right.
The younger, the child helping the more grown child, the younger child helping the more grown child, through whatever they're doing on campus.
And I think also we see with it being a woman or a child, we see that connection to being less manly.
Yes.
Right. That's
as being effeminate as an assault, as
right.
as an insult. Which, what's wrong with being effeminate? What's wrong with being feminine?
Exactly.
I don't think anything. Spencer, what do you think?
I think
you got a problem
right.
with it, buddy?
No, I do not.
Okay,
not
good.
at all. But yeah, again,
What if I hold you responsible for all straight men right now?
Oh my God. I would just kill me now.
And then he never asked me back on the podcast again. I'm sorry.
I am a cisgendered straight white male, and I often feel like I want to detach myself from every one of those categories. Often, I'm like,
well, here's what I will say. That's not always a terrible thing.
Trust me.
Some people know that they could be terrible if they chose to be, and they choose not to be. And I appreciate that about you, Spencer Parks.
Thank you. I appreciate you appreciating that. That's sort of the thing, is that I feel very lucky to not have ever had to go through a lot of terrible things that a lot of people in the world have had to go through. And so privilege, I guess, would be one of those words. And I would like to use that privilege to help change for the future.
And the gays salute you like a fleet admiral.
Like an FADM. Where was I going with what I was saying? There was something. Seeing the evolution of woman and child, and saying, basically when people would use this word, they are basically saying you are like a woman or a child, and then of course it evolved even further than that. I just had to.
You're like a woman, and I'm using that to insult you. Is
right.
The second more somehow terrible part of that.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got more. Well, I think what actually we're getting into is a little bit more of the backstory of sort of where this word came from. So, yes, let's do a sound effect. We have, I think that's a long A, fagin, Fagin. I believe this one is not related, which is great, but it also could be. I don't know. It is a noun, often capitalized, from 1839. No, sorry, 1847. This is an adult who instructs others like children in crime. Ooh. And this is from, if you know shows, you may know, this is from Fagin the character in Charles Dickens's, not just shows, I guess stories, books as well, Oliver Twist, which became a musical. That's what I know, because I grew up in an artsy-fartsy family, and there were a lot of musicals.
I'm not that kind
house.
of faggot. Just kidding. I'm sorry. What kind of faggotry is that?
Yeah,
Parks.
such faggotry.
Sorry, everybody. I can't help myself. I'm very sorry.
And you shouldn't help yourself. You should just keep it coming. Don't stop. Yes, there is a character named Fagin, and he was helping the little boys, the orphan little boys, do crime. Pickpocketing was one of the things. And then, of course, Oliver Twist said, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" And he said, "Off with your head." I don't remember.
Maybe I would watch that version.
Yeah. So yes, I think that one is. So why do you use this in context? You're acting like a Fagin. You're an adult who is helping children do crime. How often does this get used?
Very specific. Yeah. It's very specific.
Okay. Yes, sound effect, please. Now we have the first form of the word faggot again, but this one is spelled F-A-G-O-T, or you can put in two G's like we saw before. This is a noun from the 14th century, and the synonym is the word bundle, but we actually have a couple of sub-definitions. A bundle of sticks, and B, a bundle of pieces of wrought iron to be shaped by rolling or hammering at high temperature. And, this is some history that I learned many, many years ago from my friend Andrew Sen, who said, I don't know, maybe you know more than I do, but what do you think? That was a terrible transition.
I don't know anything about this. Is that what they've been calling me since I was a child? Just
a bundle of sticks.
Bundle of wrought iron?
Yeah. Well, so as
I'm stronger than I thought. They weren't bullying me. They were complimenting me.
Yeah, iron is strong.
I'll tell my therapist.
As I understand it, or and I'm sure that there's a lot more information that I don't know about, but basically it was a bundle of wood sticks that would then be used to burn people like witches, but also gay people.
Oh God.
That is what I believe I remember hearing from way back in the 14th century, I guess.
Wow. Jeez.
I don't know.
The gays have had a tough time, you guys.
We're now finally learning this. Let's do a sound effect.
Oh. I'm like enthralled by this page.
It's a good page, right? A good in air quotes. We now have the second form of the same word, faggot, spelled both ways. This is a transitive verb from circa 1598, and it is to make a faggot of, or also bind together into a bundle. So if you're making, as in the example, faggoted sticks, bundling the sticks together to create a faggot.
Yes.
I can't believe
That's how
I've said
I was born. That is my origin story. How strange.
This is where all the gay men come from. I feel like it's pretty safe to say that I have said the words fag or faggot more times in the last hour, no, probably less than that, 30 minutes, than I have in my entire life.
Yes, and I appreciate that about you.
Oh my God. Should we get on to our last word, or do you have anything else that you would like to say about these words? There we go.
How's that?
Thank you. This is our last word, and it is fagoting, F-A-G-O-T-I-N-G, or, of course, you can put in the second G if you prefer.
And I do prefer. Thank
you do.
For asking.
Okay, you are welcome. This is a noun from 1885. Number 1, an embroidery produced by pulling out horizontal threads from a fabric and tying the remaining cross threads into groups of an hourglass shape. And we have a picture of this fagoting, which really it just looks like some fabric, and then they're just bunched together in the middle to create this wonderful hourglass shape, and there's 4 of them next to each other.
They seem lovely.
They do. It seems very nice, with a terrible word.
Yes. But again, language is fluid. Maybe we can take it back and make it be more about the hourglass threading.
But I wonder, though, if people in
I dare you.
to wonder?
I dare you to make that happen.
Yeah. But I
walk around talking about faggoting.
Yeah, but it's okay. I'm talking about threads bundled together into an hourglass shape. It's fine.
No, I'm on threads saying faggoting.
Yeah, I'm on threads. So do people who work with threads and fabric, are they still using this word in this very, very specific situation, or because of the connotations of the word, are they using something else? And clearly you must know an answer.
You're right. As I did go underground into the threading district, I don't know what that is, and did some faggoting myself, and faggoted up some facts. God,
and now you are
what's happening now.
You are very fagged from all that work.
I am deeply fagged. I am at my fag end.
Oh, okay. There is another definition for this word, which is number 2.
God.
Thank God. An open work stitch joining hemmed edges. We just had to finish that one up.
Yes.
There's no etymology for that because I believe that it comes from the previous word, which was about bundling things together.
Yes.
So
would like a homemade broom be faggoted?
Ah, maybe.
Like a witch's broom,
right?
That maybe you make for Halloween.
Sure.
Bundling a bunch of hay.
Yeah,
like
I was trying to think of what are you making brooms
Straw?
out of? Yeah, straw and hay.
I don't know.
For sure. Yes, that sounds absolutely correct to me.
Great. I'm glad I could help.
Would you like to pick a word of the episode? I will quickly read them again. So just to remind you what we had today.
Goddamn dare you.
Yeah. You don't have to, obviously, but I feel like you will. Today we had this is the rule of the show. No.
Yes.
Today we had, here we go, fade out, FADM, fathu, fecal or feces, faena or faena, fairy, Faroese, Fáfnir, fag, and faggot, fagin, faggot, faggoting. And that's the end.
This is just like 9th grade homeroom suddenly.
Wow. Yeah. I just wanted to bring you back to your childhood. Your therapist is gonna get a mouthful later.
She is gonna get it tomorrow. I'm gonna surprise you and pick fathu.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm not surprised
because
yeah.
I mean it's just such a lovely it's a lovely art form that I think deserves to be celebrated, and I think that we should spread the word of the fathu.
I think that's good because I did not know about this. You clearly knew the word before, but had no idea that you were gonna get thrown this episode with this word
Correct.
in it.
And I had no idea how to pronounce it until today.
There you go. Oh, so nobody
I've been doing it wrong.
When you were there, nobody said the word fathu or anything?
No, not that I'm aware of, but I also
Yeah.
don't speak Portuguese. So if they were saying it, it was blended in with other words I didn't understand.
Right,
So
right.
it was- and us going around going, I want to go see the fado singers.
Right,
They
right.
were like, okay, sure.
Yeah, you saw FADO, and so if you heard Fathu, there was no connection between the two of them. So yeah,
not even gonna pretend like I understood
Yeah.
what was going on.
I would not have caught that either. I think that is a fantastic choice for the word of the episode. Would you like to make up a song on the spot of Fathu, or should I just put in a clip of a Fathu?
I think you should probably put in a clip because I've done my offensive bits for the day, and I don't want to. I don't want to push my luck.
Yeah. That one would go too far. Yeah, that is fair. And I don't know. I don't even know what these sound like. So I'm very excited to hear a Fathu.
They are aggressively gorgeous. Like it's so over the top, on purpose. Like
Yeah.
that is the shtick of it, and it's just so cool.
They are plaintive.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining me on this wonderful journey of an episode today.
I had so much fun. Thank you for allowing me to come and be, be plaintive.
Yeah, that was exactly what you were today, plaintive. I think we were both totally fagged by talking about all of these words today.
Yes.
And please, once again, plug all the things that you got going on. Let us know where can people find you and the things that you do.
Come and stare at the website for my documentary. You can go to tightandnerdy.com or beartobestupid.com in order to help support us. Our Kickstarter is long over, but we can always use some more support, and the support is now tax deductible. How exciting!
That's
support
amazing.
your local faggot.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So yes, the financial donations are done. Although I'm sure you could still send Jeff money if you wanted to.
Yeah, tax deductible. Yeah.
Yeah.
beartobestupid.com.
It's the word of mouth is also a fantastic way to get the word out.
Yes.
The other website is just showgalsthemovie.com.
Indeed,
Right?
it is. Yes.
Yeah, that's what
We may be changing the name.
Oh, really?
To tightandnerdy.com.
Gotcha. So
Yeah. Sorry.
no, that's
that is also a development that happened since we last spoke.
So is that
That we have not really been leaning into yet, but that's probably what's about to happen.
So would that be a change to the name of the documentary as well?
Yes.
Okay.
But Showgals the movie still works. TitanNerdy.com still works.
I'm gonna put both of them in the show.
Bear to be stupid is excellent.
That might be my favorite one.
Yes.
Yeah. Any social media links that you want people to know about or not?
We're at Showgals the movie on Instagram and Facebook and Threads, and those are the things. We're
That's
also
it.
on Blue Sky, but I don't think anyone uses that anymore.
I have no idea. I have not gotten on Blue Sky. I feel like isn't there one called like Mammoth or something? I don't know. I can't keep
We're
up
on
with
all of those, but we mostly are on Facebook and Instagram.
Those are the
How's
biggies.
that?
for
Oh,
sure.
and TikTok. We have a TikTok.
Ooh,
The kids love a TikTok.
they do. It's TikTok. I just saw today that like some people are suing TikTok for mental health issues with kids.
Sure.
that seems
can
like
we
a-
do that now? Because I'm going to go back and
Yeah.
find everyone who called me a faggot in grade school and
You-
start
Yep.
throwing lawsuits at them.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's an entirely reasonable thing to do now. All these years later.
Using people versus TikTok as the precedent.
Yeah. Fantastic. Any last words? Or have you gotten all the words out?
I've gotten to say the other F word so many times today, and it was kind of cathartic, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for letting me throw you into this ridiculous situation.
Well, I do appreciate it, and I hope that it wasn't too hard of a path to take with me as your guide.
No, for us, I think it was amazing. For my listeners and the watchers on YouTube, I cannot speak for them. I have no idea. I don't know.
We hope it was entertaining and informative. How's that?
Yes, exactly. That is the goal. Edutainment is what I'm all for.
Yes.
I genuinely don't know how this will be received in the social media podcast YouTube world. So this episode could get banned for all I know. Hopefully not.
Enough.
But you and I can
Patreon
always
for it.
watch it. Yeah, Patreon.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. All right. On that note, thank you everybody for checking out this show. Check out the show notes, the links for all the links, the ways to get in contact with me, share this, subscribe, Patreon, all that stuff. Thank you very much. Until next time, this has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.
Fade out!